sugar. Sugar. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Well, welcome to Monday Night Meetup. I took last week off on my 3-week travels. I was just too exhausted last week. So I took it off, but we are back and we are going to be making this cute little star. And let me hold it up here. So I'll hold it up here. You can do it with ribbon. This one is with ribbon. I'm going to do one tonight with paper just to show you. But you can do either. And we're going to get going. So let's get started. Let me spot like that. Put that up. Okay. So I have 4 pieces of paper that are about 1/2 inch. I use scrapbook paper, so they were 12 inches, and I just taped 2 pieces together. If you can actually see the tape or not, you can see that divide. So I did that. If you have long paper and you're cutting it, or you're using ribbon, I think I said about 16 inches to do this size star, which is, let's see, which is about 3 inches. So, okay. So to get started, you need 4 pieces of paper, and you're going to fold them in half. So I've already folded mine in half, and I'm actually gonna get this right now. I want to be able to see that well. Go. Okay. So we're gonna have 4 pieces of paper folded in half. Hello, Doreen. Welcome. All right, so 4 pieces folded in half, and we're going to make the center similar to we've made some of the centers on the other projects. We are going to, so I've got this one, I've got the fold down here. I'm going to take the next one, I'm going to slide it through. So slide it through and grab. So here's my fold on this one, and the open ends are to my right. So we're going to just kind of slide that on there. We're going to take our 3rd piece, and we are going to put it around the one going horizontal. So my fold is here. And then we're going to take the 4th piece, and my fold is going to be to the right. We're going to go around. So we're going to capture that, and we're going to open that first fold, and we're going to stick the ends. We're going to stick the ends through the fold on that first one. And then we're going to pull them all together. We're going to lock them in, just pull them all together and lock them in place. So you'll have a little 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all should be, so they're all locked together. Okay. All right. Whoops. Sorry about that. Okay. So next, we're going to take the piece that is on top of each one. So I'm going to start at the bottom. Oops, did I freeze up, you guys? There we go. Okay, looks like I'm back. All right, we're going to fold it straight up. So I took the one at the bottom, I folded it straight up. I'm going to take the one to the right, just the top piece, and I'm going to fold it over this piece and fold it to the left. I'm going to take this top one. We're going to fold it right down. Hey, Jackie, nice to see you. And then we're going to take the one on the left. We're going to fold it over and we are going to, I have a tool handy. Let me see if I have a tool handy, you guys. Let me grab a tool. There we go. All right, so we folded 1, 2, 3, and number 4, we're actually going to stick my tool in here so you can see where this is a pocket. We are going to stick that one right in that pocket so it will lock it in. Let me come up close so you can see. So it's going right in this pocket, right in here. Okay. And we're going to pull and we're just going to flatten everything down. Okay, so you should have 4 squares on the top, flip it over, and you have 4 squares on the bottom. Okay. All right. Now comes the fun part where we're going to make the points. We're going to start at the top. Let me see. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it so the white is showing. Can I do that? Actually, I'm going to flip mine over so my color paper is showing. Okay. So we're going to take our top right one. We're going to bend it down and we're going to bend it, and we're going to make a 45-degree angle and we're going to press it. So if you're using paper, you can really press and make a seam. If you're using ribbon, just kind of crease it. You guys, am I freezing up for you?
You're fine.
Okay, maybe it's just on my side. All right, so I'm going to just do that again. We're going to kind of tuck it under and we're going to fold and we're going to make a little triangle there. Come up close. All right, we're going to continue working with this piece and now we're going to fold it forward and we're going to make, now we have a little triangle or a bigger triangle. Okay. Then we're going to take both pieces and fold them in half. So I'm basically folding those 2 triangles on top of each other. Okay. And then we're going to take the end. I'm going to bend this back a little bit. Let's see. We're going to take the end and we're going to tuck it right in there. Close. So we're tucking it right into this pocket. Pull it taut. Right. And then, so you have 2 choices. Let me talk about that before we go further. So on this one, I cut the little ends on an angle. So we had little angles on here. You can either do that or you could choose to cut it flush and not have any paper sticking out. So you could cut it just flush with the area you just tucked it under and it wouldn't show, or you can cut it on an angle. I'm just going to cut on the angle just because I think it looks kind of cute. But do that back up. All right. So I just cut a little angle. But if you want to cut it flush and not see it at all, you can do that. All right. I'm going to rotate. We're going to do the same thing again. So again, I'm taking it, I'm rolling it down away from me. And I'm going to make that first triangle. I'm going to continue with that piece and I'm going to make the second triangle. one together. Then we're going to fold it in half. So they become like one. Bend it back and we're going to tuck it in. Pull it all the way through. Yeah. Then we're going to cut on an angle or flush. All right. And then we're going to turn it. Do the same thing here. Going to fold it down to make that first triangle. So right down so it's even. Make the second triangle by folding it forward. Then we're going to bend those triangles in half. Oops. Yeah, we're going to bend them in half. All right. Then we're going to tuck it through. Pull it through. Give it a snip. All right. And then we're going to do our last point for this turn. Again, turning it down, make the triangle, take the same piece, make the mirrored triangle, fold it in half, and then take the end right through. If you're having trouble getting the ends through, you could cut a point on the, as you're feeding it through to help. All right. And that one. All right, so that will give us our first 4 points on the star. All right. So now we want to make the second point. So these are our first points. We want to make the second point. Let's see. Just trying to decide which way I want, because I want my color to show. All right, we're just going to do that. So we're going to do it just the opposite. No, we're going to flip it over. Sorry. We're going to flip it over and do it just the same way. So my paper is white on the other side. So it's going to, I'll have white points and the side with the pattern on it. So again, we're going to fold, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to fold, make that triangle. We're going to come forward, make that second triangle. We're going to fold them in half. Then we have our 2 points, and then we're going to tuck the end in. And we're going to trim it. So I'm going to do it, but on this side, I'm going to trim it. I'm going to trim it flush just so you guys can see. When you're trimming, go ahead and tug on it a little bit. Put some tension on it. Go ahead and cut right at the seam, and then pretty well hides back in there. So if you want to cut them flush, you can do that. Okay, we're going to do it again. We're going to fold away from ourselves to make that first triangle. Going to fold towards ourselves to make the second triangle. Going to fold in half to complete the process. And we're going to bend it back a little bit and pull it through. Oops. And trim it off. Tug a little bit. Give it a cut. Turn. All right. First triangle. Second triangle. Fold in half. Bend it forward. Tuck it in. And trim it up. And last one. Again, we're gonna make that first triangle folding away. The second one folding towards ourselves. Now fold them in half. Bend it back. And tuck it right in there. So making these little stars, half inch is good. So that's what it would look like if they were all cut even. And this is what it would look like. You see those? If you like cut an angle, it kind of makes like another little square. Yeah, that's better. Another little square inside the weaving. And that's it. That's making the little stars. All right, let me remove the spotlight for a second. So Jacqueline, welcome. Betty, welcome. Doreen, welcome. Doreen says it's pretty cool even out of paper. Let me see. I missed a couple of chats. Oh. All right. Looks like we lost Denise. All right. So Debbie, were you doing that?
No, I started with ribbon and it got the ribbon's too slick, so I gave up.
Okay. Well, you can do it with ribbon.
Yeah. Takes a
right.
little patience.
You gotta just hold it. Let me see. Let me grab. Betty, are you watching? Yes.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I tried that once before, but you made it look so simple.
Well, thank you. Let me see what I have for some ribbon. We can go through it again for those who let me see. I'm gonna do.
I do have a question though. How
Sure.
do you get them? You have them flat. Now, how do you get them so that they look like they're round? You know what I mean? Puffed.
Yeah, so if you look at the ribbon, let me go back to the table view. If you're using the ribbon, right here.
Yes.
Can you see how thick it is?
Uh-huh.
Compared to the paper? Let me get there. So the paper comes out really thin, but the ribbon is a little puffier when you do it.
Oh, I used paper and mine were flat like that.
Yep. So, and the paper will be flatter because it's paper, it doesn't have the body, but ribbon will give you, so this is that, I don't know what you call it, gross grain.
Gross grain. Yeah.
Thank you. Ribbon. Dollar Tree has you can get ribbon pretty cheap there. So I'm gonna do it again with the ribbon so that just so you can see my hands and how I'm holding things. All right, so as I'm doing that, let me take this off for a second. Let's see. Jacqueline, were you doing it? You did a little tiny one. Let me
quarter inch.
You did quarter inch. Okay.
Yeah, quarter inch paper. I've done these before. They're fun.
Excellent.
And I actually will do the 3D ones with the Frobel star ones.
Yes, so there is another star. me take you off. There's another star. Is it a Scandinavian or Moravian?
Froebel, Froebel, I think is what it's how it's spelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
And it's
one
just
actually has little loops in the center.
mhm.
So we can do that. We can do that one another day. This one I thought this is a good one to practice with before you do that other one, because this one's a little simpler, I think. So, okay. And let's see, Doreen. Hey, welcome, Judy. Hey, Doreen, did you give it a try? I know you're talking in the chat, so look to see. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. I'm gonna spotlight for everybody. We're gonna do it again with the ribbon. So here it is with our paper. That was one I did with the ribbon. We'll do another one with the ribbon just so you can see, because you have to what do I want to say? Oops, you have to take control of your ribbon. So I'm gonna crease in half and take another one. And I'm gonna crease it in half. Yeah, we'll do another one. And I'm just finger creasing it. If you wanted a really, really crisp one to start, you can iron them, but I am way too lazy to do that. All right. And then we're gonna crease that last one. All right. So we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna make that first center. So we're going to take the two and loop them over each other. And I'm going to just leave it loose so you can see. We're going to take our next one. It's going to go over the top. Take my crease. Going to go over the top there. All right. We've got 3 pieces. And then this piece is going to go around this one. I'm gonna grab both ends and I'm gonna stick it through my first one, right through the hole. We're gonna go right through the hole there. All right, got everybody together, and then we're gonna just tighten it up. Whoops. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. So ribbon is not as nice with memory as paper is, right? Paper, once you crease it, it's just going to stay there. So the ribbon, we're just going to get it in our little 4 block and we're just going to give it some loving. Yeah. And you can already, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm like pushing down and then it puffs up because it's ribbon and it's got a little more body. All right. So once you have your 4 squares, we're just going to go through this again. I'm going to take that one up, take right over left, put that one down, and take top to bottom. And then we're going to take the left, take the left one, and my little tool go. There we go. And we're going to go through this pocket that we created. There we go. And we're going to just pull everybody tight. And now we've got our 4 little boxes again. And we're just going to kind of finger press it to hold it in place. Right. All right. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to turn this one away from ourselves. We're going to give it a little crease. I'm going to hold my finger on it. We're going to continue with the same piece. We're going to make another little triangle. Going to give it a little finger crease. Going to fold it in half. Fold it in half. There we go. that little point. Okay, so now you've got that little point, and then I pick the whole thing up and I'm holding on to my point, bending it back a little bit, and I'm going to stick it into the pocket. Pull it through. Oh, and tighten everything else up again because it does want to loosen up. And then can trim it. I'm going to do these on the angle just because I like that. Okay, we're going to rotate it. We're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to give that a little pull to make it taunt. We're going to bend it backwards. We're going to make our little crease. I'm going to hold it in place. I'm going to make my next triangle. I'm going to give it a little crease. And then we're going to fold it in half. Fold it in half, make our point. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to hold the point. Bend it back a little bit, and we're going to stick it through the pocket. And give it a pull. So I had you guys do 16 inches because and you're going to have a little bit of waste. So as you get comfortable doing these, you could make your pieces a little bit shorter. You could probably make them 14. But I wanted to make sure that you had enough to play with. Okay. All right. We're going to keep going around. Pull it taut. Make our triangle. Hearing a little bit of background noise.
That's just me.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm going to fold it again. And then fold it in half. Make our point. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to grab it with my left hand. And I'm going to put the tail through. Again, if you're having trouble threading it through on these steps, actually, let me just do this. You could make a point on it. You could make a point on it, and then that makes it a little easier to thread through. All right, that one. All right, one more on this side. So can you, not sure, well, we'll get this side done and then I'll pick it up and show you guys. It is much puffier with ribbon than it is with paper. As you are making these, I mean, they're fun to make. They're fun to make ornaments. You can, add some string on or thin ribbon on to hang them. They're fun for basket embellishments, right? And I always like to tie it back to basketry besides the little weaving that we're doing. There we go. Okay, so that is the first side. All right, so now we have our first side, and we're going to turn it over, and we're going to do the second side. So same process. So as I said, you could use them on a basket for an embellishment. You could use them as an ornament. They're really pretty to add to a package. If you're giving a gift to somebody and you add it on as a package decoration, it's a nice little thing. And then they have an additional little trinket to go with whatever you are giving them as a present. All right, so there's our first one on the second side. Yeah, give it a little bit. All right. So again, we're turning away. One time, turning away, giving that crease, turning away, or turning towards us, giving the crease, and then folding in half. So when you're doing this with a ribbon as opposed to the paper, you have to handle it a little bit more. You know, when I said when you make the creases with the paper, it just stays. When you make the crease with the ribbon, it's got a life of its own and wants to go its own way. There we go. That's our second one on this side. And again, you can leave little tails or you could trim them up flush with the where you're coming through. And again, you can see, you know, they're definitely puffier compared to the paper, which is very flat. So they have a little more body to them with the ribbon. You could also use any kind of fiber, like if you had iris leaves or daffodil leaves, you could make deals with that. Anything that's a flexible fiber. The what's it called? The paper splint, what it's called. Made out of paper, but it kind of looks like wood. You could use that. I just learned about this really cool stuff when I was away on my trip that is called vegan leather. And it is basically paper, and I'll I think I have some in here. Hopefully I have some in here. I will show it to you. But that would work really well. There. One more on this. Again, folding away from ourselves for that first fold. Folding towards ourselves for the second fold. Folding in half. Holding on to everything. Kind of bend it back a little bit. And stick it through. There we go. All right. Now on the ribbon, because the ribbon is so slick, if you're going to leave these ends out, you could put a dab of glue on them to hold everything down. That would, if you put it on these little ends, that will hold everything in place. That's it. That is our little, so here's the blue one. That was what I did the picture of. Here's a ribbon with a little bit of design on it. And then here's the one that we did with paper. All right. Let me take that off. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. So Debbie, you gonna give it another try?
No, I gave up.
Oh,
It's
all
been
right.
a long day. I'll work with paper next time.
That's all right. Yeah, and try it with paper first, and then you can go back to the ribbon. You can watch the video, and
Yeah.
you'll be able to do it. All right.
I did this one all back over in December out of some winter fabric, but here's out of using a fabric tube. And you can see it's just a little tube of fabric I made, just folded it over. That
Ah,
works really well too. You
look
can
at
also
that.
get the interfacing and then just cut them a
Yep.
half inch. You know, the interfacing that, you know, so it doesn't ravel.
Yep.
They're a lot of fun.
Love that. Thank you
Uh-huh.
for sharing
Yeah,
that.
and if you want paper strips, there's a place on Etsy that has some of the cutest paper strips. So if you just,
Ah,
yeah, it's called Bethlehem Paper. I mean, they have all sorts of paper strips, and like at the Christmas time, they have holiday colors, and they have music notes.
different width.
Yeah, different widths. And you can
Yeah.
also make them out of curling ribbon.
Yes.
Like,
That was
yeah.
yes, that was
Those,
the other thing I was gonna say. You could use curling ribbon. Curling ribbon is usually like 1/4 inch. So
mm-hmm,
they're smaller, right? If you go smaller width, you're gonna get
at that
smaller.
size.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm gonna put you back up there. Can you show it one more time so people can
Let's see
see?
if I can get it where.
Yes. See, little tiny. Good job. Good job. So just so you know, you can do that. So depending on what size you want, you can also make them bigger. You could use 1 inch ribbon or 3/4 inch ribbon. You can make them bigger as well. So,
And
so
you can make a, like, if you get some fun papers, and especially if we do the where they do the 3D ones, they're
yes.
really cute to put like out in a basket at Christmas time, like do a whole big basket of them. I've
Oh,
done that before. Yeah. Just like take a small basket and just throw a bunch in them. People just
yeah.
think they're cool. And you can give them away from your basket.
So we will do the other star that has the loops on the inside. We'll do that another Monday night. So you guys will have that. So we got these are our flat ones. Um I think these are a good, if you haven't done stars like this before, this is a good one to start with. Anybody can do them, right? You just kind of follow along. Let's see. Doreen said, off to the Dollar Tree tomorrow. Good for you, Doreen. I think this green ribbon is from Dollar Tree. Blue might be too. I don't buy expensive ribbon, I buy cheap so I can have fun with them and not worry about cutting off pieces. All right. So that's the star. So now it's time for show and tell. So let's see. So Jacqueline, anything you'd like to do for show and tell?
I don't have any of my, I'm out of town right
Okay.
now, so I don't have any of my baskets, but I've got one of my rope bowls if you want me to show one of those.
See it.
All right, let me grab it.
All right. I'm gonna make it bigger for her. You might have to turn your blur off.
Yeah, let's see. See if you can see. Can you see it like that?
Oh,
And that
there
was
we
fabric rope, and it's the wave pattern on the inside. And I just wrapped it with fabric.
What's the core?
Yeah. Huh?
What's
What's
the core?
The cord is cotton rope.
Cotton rope. Okay.
Yeah, and I just zigzagged it on my sewing machine. And if you do some like Christmas colors in these, take those little stars and make a bowl of these and then just put them out on like your coffee table.
Very
And
cute.
that makes like, and then if you got guests coming over for Christmas, you can just hand them you can tie the little hangers on them and then hand them out as presents. That's what I did with my stars last year. So
Nice. Nice. Doreen said awesome bowl. Just wanted
thank
to
you.
see the chat there. All right. Good job. All right. Let's see. Betty, you have anything for show and tell?
It's all yarn.
All yarn.
Yeah, it's just yarn with cording.
And jute, is that jute for the core?
Yes.
Look at how
And then
cute.
you just fray the top.
I love it. How cute. Very clever. Very
Those are fun. I've made 3 different ones. They're a little bit bigger, but they're fun to make. And they're easy. It's something you can sit and watch TV
and just do.
and
Do
do
you
it too.
weave it over any kind of mold?
No, it's just if you get the bottom and you go into and you keep your tension the same, you just, I don't know, it just sort of stays in place.
Cool. Did you get the pattern from somebody, or is it something you just did?
This is Barbara Comers. She's the president of the Columbia Basin Basket Guild.
Okay.
And she taught this class.
Okay. So, Jacqueline, did you get the name?
You can do a ton of different patterns. I have another one that I just finished trying to put the design on the front.
I left yesterday.
Oh,
Gone for 2 days.
Oh,
I just had it
okay.
it's this one.
in the morning.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Oh, with an antler.
You're down to music?
How fun.
Not on here.
It's done the same way, and then
Yeah.
I've also done this one.
Ooh,
I'm on the Zoom.
love those with the antler. That is really
Tomorrow morning?
cool.
Okay.
They're easy to do
Well,
once you get the bottom
easy
started.
to know how, right? All right, thank you. All right, I'm gonna take you off a spotlight. Thank you for sharing. Let's see. Um, could you type her name in the chat, Betty?
Barbara's
Yeah,
Barbara Comer, Kommer.
Kommer. All right, good, Jacqueline. Hopefully you can find that. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and she's the Columbia Basin Basket Guild.
Okay.
She's an excellent teacher.
There's a Facebook page for them, isn't there, Betty?
Yes.
Yeah. I think if you go on the Facebook page, then you could probably find her, Jacqueline. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Debbie, anything for show and
Yes, I
tell?
did something. Our basket guild had a meeting
Ooh,
yesterday, and so we did a little Easter basket.
nice. Let's see.
We
Oh, fun.
little fun.
Nice space.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. All right. Thank you for sharing. See, Judy, anything for show and tell?
I do.
Oh, I saw your picture of this. That is awesome.
It's
Now,
a whopper.
is it a coil or is it a
It's no, it's fabric wrapped.
so similar
Handmade.
to what Betty showed?
Yes,
Okay.
but it's been sitting in my room for a couple of years unfinished. So
You got it done.
finally got handles on it.
Love it, love it, love it. All
You had a
right.
good you had a good trip.
I had a fantastic trip. Let's see. Oh, I just see Judith just joined. Judith, we're all done with the demos and we are doing show and tell now. So I get to do show and tell. Let me make me big. I am so excited. So for those who don't know, I've been gone the last 3 weeks. The first week I was at Shenandoah Creates with Joe Campbell Amsler doing Willow. All my stuff on. All right. So this is the first one we did. It's got little handles.
Had you done willow before?
I have.
Mm.
And we split some willow. If you can see the lighter couple pieces in there. We actually took a thing and a thicker willow, and she had these wood blocks that had like a 3 divider in, and you basically made a little slit, and then you pushed the divider through to split it. That was a lot of work. I'll just say I probably won't be doing that again, but it was good to learn. But they smell. I wish you guys could smell them. They smell so good. So that was the first one we did. And then the second one I did is this one. Oh, the bottom.
Nice.
Nice. They're like, if you guys haven't done willow before, they are so strong. So strong.
Is willow harder to work with?
Yes, it is. I say you have to manhandle it. You have to manhandle it. You have to really tell it who's boss. And it goes, willow grows, it's thicker at the bottom and thinner at the top. So as you're weaving, you've got to count for those things too. This was the third one. I love the handle on this one. So it's kind of a wrapped handle at the top, but then it goes down, and you actually weave all of this before you put the inner rim in. So
Wow.
it was really cool.
They're beautiful.
Thank
That's
you.
beautiful.
And then my last willow one, she had a bunch of sticks and roots, however you say it. And I found this little root that reminded me of a river otter. Can you see it?
It does.
Doesn't he look like a little river otter? So I said, I want him to be standing up because most of the things that Joe had, right, the hand, like it would go like across, on top of a basket. So
Mhm.
most of the things she had, and I was like, no, it needs to be standing up. So he's got a long tail down here, and it's going to hang on the wall. And I wanted it so you could kind of see in a little bit, so it'll hang like that, and so you'll be able to see in. It's got a little window. So Joe and I sat and kind of contemplated how to make it happen so I could have my river otter standing up. So that was really fun. So that was my
That's
creative will. Yep, it
that's
was fun.
cool.
That was really fun. And then let's see, my second week, I stayed with Julia, who actually runs Shenandoah Crates for one night, and then I went to the Luray Caverns, which are right near where the retreats are. Those were fascinating. If you're ever in the Shenandoah Valley and get a chance to go to those, they are worth going to. Really amazing. It's about a mile and a quarter to walk through it, but they're fascinating. We have caverns here in Kentucky, which are really pretty cool too, but the ones there were really pretty fun. And then I went over to Ann Bowers. I drove over to Ann Bowers. She's about an hour and a half away from there, and spent a few days with her, just hanging out in the studio. I finished up my willow baskets. She was working on some stuff. She lives on a farm. She's got a couple of horses, a couple of bunnies, chickens. So it was just really very nice and relaxing to do that. And then I drove over to the coast to Norfolk, and I stayed with Rami McKinley, if anybody knows her. And I taught a couple of days over for the Tidewater Guild, which was a lot of fun. And then I headed back to Shenandoah Crates. And my second week there was doing paper. So there we go. Okay. So out of my paper baskets, I got one completed. But I was really there to learn technique. So this was when I got completed. This is really pretty. This was kind of she had us do a couple of squared arounds just to gauge our skills with doing diagonal plating. Everything was diagonal plating. That was we did that, and we also painted paper, and we dyed this vegan leather paper. I'm gonna have to see if I have any. I don't know if I have any in here with me. Might have to wait till next week for that. This is my second basket. It's all done, but I need to put the rim on. So that was that one. That was fun. All right, then we got into some fun stuff. I wanted to learn how to do shoulders. So shoulders are when they come in like this on a basket. So that's the bottom. And I'm
That's beautiful.
not quite done. Gotta put a rim on it, but it's close. So
I
that was
bet
fun.
you made an A in that class.
Well, I uh I had fun. Let me just say that. There were a lot of talented people there. All right. And this one you do let me get there. You do two squares flat, and then you pull the third one and you make a triangle once it comes to a point. So your base is really three squares, but you make a triangle, and then you're weaving up and it makes really cool patterns. This one's close. Not done, but it's close. And then I've been working on a sampler. So I finally got to do one in my colors, my purple and black, right? I tried to stay away from purple a little bit. I did it on this one, but I did the other ones I didn't. I tried to stay away. So this is a sampler. So that was fun. So that's the bottom. And then the idea is so you can have something to look at to think about. So once you understand a row in diagonal plating, you can add any design, any basket. So that's the samplers kind of to do that. And then this is the one I had posted a picture. It's still crazy. This is the bottom. So it's like 3.5 square or 3 squares there and half on each end, and it will stand. It's very hairy right now, all the pieces going. But the technique I wanted to learn how to make these feet, basically, how to make those bends. So that was really fun. And then it'll weave up and we'll see what it looks like when it's done. It's going to have a, well, I won't tell you. You'll have to wait and see. Hopefully next week I'll have it done. So those were my paper experiments. So it was a lot of fun. I got home yesterday. I will say 3 weeks away from home is a long time. I probably won't do that again without Ed. I think we were both feeling that. But I learned a ton. I learned a ton with the willow. I learned a ton with the paper. We had fun painting. We got to paint paper and then cut it for our strips. In fact, this one, in order to make these patterns work, you actually paint, if you can tell. So if you look at like the center, you paint half of it one color and half of it another. So when you paint your rectangle sheet, they were 19 by 30, I think. That's 19 by 30. So you think about it like the long ways, you paint half one color and half the other color, and then it lets you do stuff like this, which is really cool.
Which one did you think was the hardest to do, the paper or the willow?
Oh,
Both hard.
I think the willow is harder because willow's strong and it has a mind of its own, and so sometimes it wants to do what it wants to do and not what you want it to do. So really kind of just learning the material, like the
Yeah.
weaving. The weaving itself wasn't hard, but learning the material and how to use the material. So I think that was harder one because I don't do it very often.
Yeah.
And
The
but
paper is hard to keep in place as you weave it, isn't it?
it is. Well, I only have one, but little clips are your friends. Like you can see I've got one in every corner of this holding everything. Um, they are your friends. They definitely clips are your friends when you're doing paper. It's and the diagonal plating, I love doing diagonal plating. So
Mhm.
um that wasn't the hard part, like just understanding the colors and the all of that and getting it to line up. Now, I will tell you, I will be very honest. This one I had woven, oh, probably up to here. And then I had her look at, I didn't think I was going to have enough to do the top when I was about this high. And she looked at it. She's like, yep, nope, you're not. But I wasn't packed really as
Gosh.
well as I could.
Mm,
So I spent about 2 hours packing and decided it would be easier to undo it and reweave it than try to get it all packed back in. So that's what I did. So to be very honest, right? It was all about learning. So that the weave isn't hard for me, but packing and keeping it everything really tight
yeah.
was my challenge.
Well, they're beautiful.
I will tell you, doing this part, this color on itself, weaving was made my eyes go crazy. I'll just say that. It's not saying
There,
nice things.
is there a pattern on that?
It's like speckled.
Oh, okay.
It's just
It,
painted.
it looks almost aluminum.
It
It's
does,
bright.
huh?
It
It is
does. Hmm.
it is very bright. This was a sponge painted, like when
Yeah, okay.
you do. Now I will. I haven't posted a bunch of pictures yet, but I will. So look on my page over the next couple weeks. I'll be posting some things, but I've got pictures of like the painted paper, and then once we cut it. All right, who knows how you cut these?
Pasta
Pasta.
cutter.
Hmm.
Yes, we do it with a pasta cutter. Um, so I've got pictures of like the solid paper, and then once it's cut, and then once
Hmm.
it's woven, because it's pretty
Yeah.
fascinating to
Oh, it is. It
the
is.
transition and to say what it's going to look like when it's big and then
Hmm.
smaller and actually woven. It's just fascinating to me. So,
Yeah, it is. It's very different to me from weaving with reed because it's so flexible and so thin.
It is.
It's pretty exacting.
It is. No, and if you've taken a class with Annetta Cravel, sorry, was a teacher for this.
Hmm.
I think I said that. Who's a wonderful, wonderful, very patient teacher. Um, she when she does her paper after painting it, then she puts a acrylic like a clear
Finish
acrylic
on it.
on it. So it almost feels plasticky almost,
Hmm.
and it's a
It
little
has more
marble.
body though.
Yes, it
Yeah.
makes it really, it actually makes it really more flexible, but not tearing. In
Hmm.
fact, I only tore one thing, and that was this stuff. Um, the stuff was really hard. Oh, and I don't know if you guys can really, let me see. Can you see how this is like kind of curved?
Hmm.
That's because we are using three different sizes
Wow.
of pieces. There was a 3 millimeter, a 4 millimeter, and a 6 millimeter. Let me just
Wow.
say 3 millimeters, tiny, tiny. You guys can look at that up. The same thing on the bottom. It kind of has that like wavy-ish
Mhm.
look. It's because of the different sizes of the materials. So again, just very interesting. A ton of math goes into, looking at the designs, thinking, and Annetta's brain works like nobody else's that I know. So, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
We had one class here in Lexington that Jackie Abrams taught for like
Yes.
3 days, and it was intense.
Yeah. So, and Jackie didn't put that extra coating on hers. She was the
Mm-mm.
first person I
It
took
was
a,
just paper. It was just paper.
yeah, she was the first one I took a class with and learned about the
Mm-hmm.
pasta cutter and came home
Mm-hmm.
and told my husband, I'm like, now I can use it. So I have my grandmother's pasta cutter. So my grandmother gave it to my mother, and my mother gave it to me when she got an electric one. Now that one I use for paper.
What
There you
width
I
go.
does it cut them?
before. Pardon?
What width does it cut the pasta roller cut them?
So they come in different widths.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think fettuccine is 3 mil. If I'm gonna don't hold me to this, but fettuccine and then 4 mil. Let me think. No, I'm not going to remember off that. But they
I'll look
come
it
in
up.
widths. They
Yeah.
come in different widths. So, um, and what I've been told is if you're going to get a pasta cutter to do this, get an Italian one. Don't get one that's made in the US because they just won't last. They'll to do that. So, and you want one that you can change out the heads, the cutter piece. You want
Okay.
one you can put different widths on, so you can do that.
Yeah, well, in Eastern North Carolina, we generally don't make our own pasta because we fry everything. So I can tell you how to fry stuff.
All right, so that's my show and tell. I had an absolutely fabulous time. I am so glad to be home, and I slept in my own bed last night, which was wonderful. I had a great trip, got to see lots of people. It was really a lot of fun. So I'm really glad I did it, but 3 weeks is a little bit long. I'm just gonna have to figure that out. So, all right, well, that's what I have for you guys tonight. Thanks for jumping on. If
Thank
you'd
you.
make post some pictures for me so you can see, because they really are kind of cute.
How long were those ribbons? Did you say 16 inches?
I did 16, but I still cut a lot off. So
It
I still
takes it takes four of them.
it takes 4 of them. That's probably,
Okay.
you see, I have my tape measure here. Yeah, I still cut off, so it could probably be maybe 10 inches. I cut 2 pieces off that were about 4, so that's 8.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna try it.
give it a try. Cut them longer, figure it out, and then you can shrink down once you've got it. So, okay.
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 Thanks a bunch.
All right. Thank you guys. Glad to be back. Talk to you soon.
All right,
Uh,
bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.